What's up guys, welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you want to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Alright, so in essence, the second half of the Labyrinth failed to function properly against the Paladins and Hinata? But the bosses get resurrected, right?
Yeah, but Adelman is weaker than Bovix, you know? And he helps me with research and stuff. I think he's a real talent, but I don't think he's the best person for the floor 60 boss. Also,
Ramirez began to visibly shake.
My masterpiece, the Elemental Colossus. It's broken, and it won't go back to normal.
Then she broke down in tears. Huh? Wasn't he a boss?
Did he not have the bracelet on?
No, he did.
Came the downhearted reply.
But he won't resurrect. He didn't back when you broke him apart, either.
Apparently, golems that occur naturally can be resurrected in the dungeon, but the types Ramirez built don't. That gave me an idea.
Maybe it's because they don't have a soul. Beretta resurrected just fine, so maybe your Labyrinth treats the Elemental Colossus like any other item?
What?
That seems likely to me.
Agreed Veldora.
Your authority fails to extend to him, Ramirez, because he's not counted as a potential target.
It sounded right to me. Which means that even if I rebuilt it, it might just get broken down again. That wasn't going to happen too often, given its strength, but we should really address that. And before that.
That takes a lot of time to build, doesn't it?
It does. So right now, floor 70 doesn't have any boss at all.
I knew it.
Yes, and down on floor 80, Zijin will likely be sleeping for a while to come. Apito has grown stronger herself, but she has far too little real battle experience. I think she needs some training before we can have her serve as a boss.
It turned out Apito was already receiving some remedial battle training. I wasn't quite sure this was what I put her in the Labyrinth for, but she was gung-ho about it, so I saw no harm in letting her. Hinata was her teacher, by the way. They asked her to help out in exchange for another chance at fighting Veldora. Hinata was already assisting with our kids, so giving Apito some battle instruction probably wasn't much more of a stretch. That left Kumara. The Kumara minions running things from floors 81 to 89 were, in essence, magic-born manifestations of Kumara's own 9 tails, one per floor. Each had their own free will, evolving and learning by themselves, but detaching them from her own body like that greatly reduced Kumara's own magicule stores. Thus, they decided Kumara would join with Alice, Chloe, and the rest and study under Hinata. All of this was decided yesterday.
Okay, so we have no real bosses from floors 60 to 90 right now?
That's right.
Indeed. And that is why we have a problem.
Ramirez and Veldora were sneering at me for some reason.
Good heavens.
Boy, talk about bad timing, huh?
Mjolmile and Masayuki were just as surprised to hear about this. I thought things were pretty chill with the Labyrinth by this point, but I guess I was wrong.
Alright, I think I understand the situation.
I heaved a resigned sigh. So now I had a stack of problems to deal with at once, but at least we knew exactly what needed to be addressed from floor 51 on down. Plus, the traps I laid out were still in fine shape.
I suppose it'll only be a matter of time before someone slays the Tempest Serpent, but there's no need to panic.
Ah, that's the confident Rimuru I know. You have a plan?
I thought so. I knew there was nothing to worry about with you around.
The anxiety seemed to vanish from Veldora's and Ramirez's faces. It was very self-serving of them, but I nodded back and explained my thoughts.
Right. Like I said before, my traps begin to get serious from floor 41 downward. Those are bound to trip them up.
Ah, how reassuring to hear.
I suppose so, yes.
And what kind of traps are these, Rimuru?
Oh, is that what you ask? Better sit down for this.
Well, the coups de grace are the slimes on floor 49. Once you make it past a certain hallway, you're cut off from the rest of the floor and confronted with a huge pile of slimes. Bad ones, let me add.
This swarm of slimes would merge together to form truly gigantic slimes, almost 10 feet in diameter. The escape routes in front of and behind it were cut off, effectively stranding the poor victims. Physical attacks, slices, blows, heavy impacts, didn't work on it, and in a closed corridor, not much magic was safe to use. Anything that exploded was likely to blow up in your face, so that was off the table. These slimes didn't have much attack force, no, but they'll maneuver to cover you from both sides, the classic pincer strategy. If you can picture edging closer and closer to the wall behind you as one of them advances, you can probably see how much of a threat they could be.
Victory is ours.
Yeah, it's in the bag for us now.
Not so fast, you two. I didn't stop there.
I'm glad my initial salvo was enough to make them cheerlead for me, but there were a bunch of other traps. Prepare to quiver in fear as I break them down. Slime pool. What at first glance looks like a bouncy, rubbery corridor is actually a slime, one that opens into a soupy grave halfway down. Slime rain. A storm of fist-size slimes descends upon you, each one small enough to work their way into your clothing and armor. Watch for acid burns. Slime doll. Looks like a monster at first, but it tirelessly takes all your attacks, gradually exhausting you. Even worse, each attack you try on it exposes your weapon to corrosive acid. Try not to let your equipment get destroyed. And so forth. I had other ideas, but for this set of floors, I wanted the focus to be on explorer harassment. Breaking their weapons, in particular, could make it impossible for them to fight any longer. It's the perfect way to buy us time.
Brilliant. Truly, a brilliant selection of traps. So even if we don't defeat our enemies with these traps, we win as long as we can leave them damaged?
That's right, Veldora.
And breaking their weapons is a good way to chase off the stronger contenders. I didn't think about that.
Right. If you can beat them, it's fine, but now they're gonna have to think about what if they can't. It ought to buy us some time.
For now, these traps wouldn't do much more than slow the challengers down. That was a shame, but we needed that time to come up with more permanent solutions.
So what do you intend to do with the time you buy?
Veldora asked. Better give a serious response to that.
It's important we don't forget that our labyrinth isn't your normal, run-of-the-mill labyrinth. This is the advanced dungeon, a newer, evolved type, and it's meant to keep evolving and growing more advanced.
Yes, of course.
So we just need to make adjustments so the dungeon can handle things better next time. First off, Adelman. I'll figure something out with him. I wanted to change up the atmosphere in his boss room anyway, Ramirez, so I'll need your help.
Sure thing.
Adelman had made it up to the rank of cardinal in his life. I think his job was officially high priest or something. In a party, he'd be your back row support type. Leaving him to serve as a boss solo was a mistake. He needed to be paired up with some kind of front row partner. I had some other thoughts, as well, so Ramirez and I decided to visit Adelman later on. Next came the floor 70 boss.
We'll just have to make another elemental colossus,
I said.
And the perfect person for the job's just come back.
I could get the needed materials, so let's take that approach. But it wouldn't be any fun to just build the same thing again.
The perfect person?
Ramirez asked. I nodded at her.
Yeah, Kaijin is back. He knows a lot about spirit engineering, so I think he'll happily take the job. Plus, I think this'll help with the experiment I was conducting earlier. I'll show him my research results, so I think you can expect an even stronger colossus than before.
Really? Oh, great.
We couldn't produce immediate results for her, but with Kaijin on the team, we'd be stronger than ever. It wouldn't be ready immediately, but it'd definitely be a threat for the next set of challengers who made it down there.
So for floors 80 and below,
I think that will work itself out over time. Once Zijin wakes up, your garden variety challenger will have no chance, let me tell you. And the dragon's Milam got should evolve for us once they spend some more time in the labyrinth.
Kumara was a growing creature as well. No need to hurry things along. The question was just how much time we could buy for ourselves.
Okay, so that'll be our basic plan. Now we need more time, and I don't think my traps are gonna be enough. So there's something I wanted to test out, and Veldora. Ramirez, I need your help.
But of course.
Sure thing.
They both affably nodded. I returned the nod, then looked at Masayuki.
Masayuki, I'd like you to continue delving into the dungeon. But instead of going past floor 41, it might be best to focus on completing the Ogre series first.
Very true. Sir Masayuki's activities in the dungeon are always good advertising for us, and I don't see much need for him to hurry.
So I should let someone else get past floor 41st, then?
Yeah, also, I think you should maybe stay away from us for a little while. I don't want you getting caught up in our plans.
Are you scheming something again?
Masayuki leered at me. Well, that's mean. He's acting like I'm always hatching some kind of nefarious new caper.
Well, let me keep that under my hat for now. But we'll handle things on our end, so Mjolmile and Masayuki, I'd like you to keep things going as normal.
Very well, Sir Rimuru.
All right, I'll give the news to my party.
Good, then. Now to see how long my traps can hold out.
Okay, if there's nothing else, let's.
Oh, one moment. I did want to discuss something.
Just as I was about to adjourn the meeting, Mjolmile stopped me. I guess he had other business to address.
What is it?
Well,
What Mjolmile had to say threw me a bit.
Lady Hinata was asking me about her reward money for conquering the labyrinth floors.
Huh?
I reflexively replied. Those prizes, awarded for clearing every 10th floor, were meant to attract the nobility's attention. What did Hinata want with them? I mean, she did earn them, but
She did not officially make it down to the bottom during normal operation. No, but as she explained it to me, if she played by the rules, didn't she deserve to be paid?
Myeolmile looked concerned. Okay, Hinata. Yes, you're technically right. But weren't we kind of in this together? It was a test for us, too, and to them it was on the field battle training. I didn't see how money had to be involved.
No, turn her down for me.
Are you sure, Sir Rimuru? If we do, she may decide to stage a more serious challenge in the dungeon, wouldn't she?
It's fine. Just remind her that people will learn she lost against the Labyrinth Master, and the word'll spread like wildfire.
It is impossible for me to lose.
Nice. I knew he'd pitch in at a time like this. Plus, if she really did stage another attempt, we could leverage that in our advertising.
Well, all right, but if possible, I'd like you to break the news to her, Sir Rimuru.
What? No way.
Yeah, no. I didn't want her hating me. It'd suck if she thought I was being a tightwad. Better to leave this role to someone like Myeolmile, with the firm, resolved attitude I needed.
But if I may, riling Lady Hinata's anger honestly scares me a little.
Thanks a bunch, Molly.
I think he was about to say something, but I cut him off. Sorry, I'm just not into doing that stuff. A pretty girl like her, you know, I'd like us to stay friends. Besides, Myeolmile's got a mafioso face and isn't afraid of anyone. He thinks of everything in terms of profit and loss, so I'm sure he'd have no problem saying no. I'm also sure that I just imagined it when I thought I heard him sadly mutter, "Perhaps I'll use my pocket money," then, under his breath. That wrapped up our agenda. Leaving the now grieving Myeolmile to himself, I went on with my business. I told Veldora and Ramirez our meeting time tomorrow. There was some prep I'd need to wrap up before then, but before that, I had one errand to attend to. Xian was on standby outside my chamber, so I took her along with me to visit Shuna.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. Shoutout to Night Gazer, Rahul Subramanian, Wubba Lubba Dub Dub, Fennec Foxy, Mark Gian Prospero, Bill Power, Josia Ingada, Kashiru Tyranny, Hexalus Lux, and last but not least, shoutout to Craig Last. I'll see you guys in the next video.